There will be a huge breakout happening for Bitcoin next week, and in this exact video I will talk about my price targets on the top and downside. I will talk about the Fed interest rate decision that happened yesterday. I will talk about the future interest rate probabilities, and yes, Jerome Powell finally hinted that rate cuts could be starting next year depending on the data that they're going to be seeing. So in this exact video I will talk about the most important charts, the most important things to be looking at in the market right now in general. So without any further ado, don't forget to slap up that like button on today's update video. Can we smash it back above 500? That will be absolutely incredible. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the imminent short term for Bitcoin, because once looking at the imminent short term for Bitcoin, we can currently see we actually broke once again back above this very important region right here. And after we did so, we exactly ran in towards the resistance I've been predicting yesterday if we were going to be breaking above the region. So the resistance to break is that 29.6k level, that level that previously around provided significant support for Bitcoin, and that currently is clearly flipping into resistance. So ever since Bitcoin broke above the 29.3k, I do see that Bitcoin is right now breaking back towards the upside. Of course, on the 1 hour time frame, we're still in a larger downtrend, but if we can be managing to be breaking above the 29.6k region, I personally will be expecting Bitcoin can start to see way more upside getting generated again. So yes, for the imminent short term, Bitcoin looks actually quite strong, and you can see it also here on a 4 hourly time frame. I could bring this one a little bit down here, but clearly we got rejected from this previous huge consolidation range that provided support. And yeah, since we're right now retesting it, it is going to be flipping into resistance. What is very important to be seeing here is that actually the resistance also exactly came together with the downward sloping resistance line here on the 4 hourly time frame for the falling wedge pattern. And Bitcoin is indeed creating a falling wedge pattern, and a falling wedge pattern is a typical bullish bias reversal pattern that Bitcoin currently is getting created. And yes, personally, I won't be surprised if this is going to be breaking towards the upside again here. So the price target of a falling wedge here, depending on where the breakout is going to be here, if it's going to be towards the upside, is going to be all the way up here to the top side. What is in this case going to be 31.6k, what could be well mean a breakout of about 7% for the upside for Bitcoin. So keep your eyes wide open. As soon as we do manage to be breaking this downtrend on the 4 hourly time frame, and also of course on the 12 hour and daily time frame, we could be starting to see of course that gigantic breakout occur. And yes, that would mean that Bitcoin is going to be definitely flip bullish here. So on the 12 hour time frame, you can clearly see this pattern is getting created, looks quite strongly. And on the daily time frame, you can also clearly see Bitcoin last time around as well created a falling wedge. And while we were of course consolidating in this gigantic falling wedge, I also talked about the likelihood of a falling edge breaking towards the upside is 80%, and of course there's still a 20% chance that we're going to be breaking down. And if the falling wedge will be breaking down here, I will be looking at this price target right here, the $28,000, since the $28,000 is that very important level of support that previously around got us supported and rejected. And if we were to be breaking down from the falling wedge, I expect that the $28,000 is going to be the next level that's going to be providing gigantic support for the price action of Bitcoin. So yes, we're finally starting to see some volatility, and yesterday we actually streamed here on the channel because the Fed interest rate decision was there, and yes, they raised the interest rates by 25 basis points, exactly like we've been predicting. And while we were watching the meeting, Jerome Powell also hinted that rate cuts could be coming next year if the data comes in correctly, and if the data shows us that the inflation is cooling down significantly. And what he said most importantly is, if we were to be seeing core inflation keep decreasing over the course of this year, we could be starting to see rate cuts happening somewhere in the beginning of 2024. And that will be of course very bullish for Bitcoin, because yes, 2024 is also the year that the Bitcoin halving is going to occur, and that will be in general make a very bullish bias scenario for the cryptocurrency industry. And if we were to be looking at the open interest in the markets, we are currently actually seeing something interesting. Since the bottom occurred around $28,000, 28.8k, we saw the open interest actually increase rapidly towards the upside. And while that happened, the funding rate started to be turning negative. And this actually means that the majority of the positions that are getting opened right now are shorting positions. And while these shorting positions are getting opened, Bitcoin has been moving towards the upside a little bit here. So that makes it for me very interesting to be seeing. Bitcoin could still have a bigger shorting squeeze. I've already talked about it yesterday on the live stream, but yes, this makes up a very good scenario where a big short squeeze could be happening for Bitcoin, and where Bitcoin could potentially break back above the $30,000 region. Of course, looking at my big get trade, still long on Bitcoin, and like I've said in several previous occasions, if Bitcoin were to be moving down to $20,000, I'm going to double down on this trade. I am very convinced that I've got a good entry and will remain to hold this trade open. And yes, if you want to be trading yourself as well, go to the link in the description of today's video, because you can currently claim a free $1,000 Bitcoin or XRP long or short position. And be aware, this deposit bonus will be ending in 4 days from now on. So it's very time sensitive, and you could be still claiming it right now, but you have to be very quickly. So all you need to do, just go to the link in the description of today's video, sign up a new account using this link above, deposit $100 within 7 days, and enjoy your free $1,000 position. Identifying further the chart on the Bitcoin daily time frame is that, of course, if we're zooming out here, we can clearly see the Bitcoin daily time frame remains to be in an uptrend. However, for the imminent short term, we are trading in a smaller downtrend on the market. So here also smaller downtrend, but on the bigger perspective, we are still trading in an uptrend. And the question really is, where are we going to see this downtrend on the imminent short term getting flipped around here? Because yes, we still do believe that we're ultimately in a bigger uptrend for Bitcoin. So you can currently, of course, look at the legendary support line for the Bitcoin price action. If we were to be retesting this level, I would see this as a very good opportunity to be accumulating Bitcoin. But for me as well, what I want to be seeing here is just a break back above this region. If we manage to be breaking back above 29.7k, we will be breaking back in towards that topside region, and that will be identify and clearly say that this was a fake out. And the reason and the chance that this could be a fake out is that if we were to be looking at the volume, we can actually see that the volume is still extremely low. Now, right now on this bounce, the volume is starting to be picking up again here, but on the move towards the downside, on the breakdown of this range, the volume was extremely low, and what we can currently still see is that the volume is still decreasing while Bitcoin is consolidating, what is indicating that a gigantic move is going to be happening. And if you then see a breakout on the region, you want to see a breakout with high volume, otherwise it would be just seen as a fake out. And since the volume is so low, I could be saying right now, we are right now witnessing a fake out. So yes, there is still a possibility that Bitcoin is going to be moving back towards the upside. Then a quick thing here, the orange line that you can see here is the Bitcoin dominance, and the chart in the background is the Bitcoin price action. And the Bitcoin dominance looks to be moving exactly the same as the price action of Bitcoin. And I will already say one thing here, because yes, the daily time frame is currently in an uptrend, but maybe at one point we're going to reverse and go down here. And I will be saying the next following thing here. So as soon as the Bitcoin price action goes up and the Bitcoin dominance is not going to be following, so the Bitcoin dominance goes down and altcoins basically take the lead, that is the point where I would start to pivot my bias and say, right now probably we could be going lower. Because as long as Bitcoin remains to lead this rally here, I remain to be believing that this is really a rally that will keep continuing. But as soon as altcoins are going to start leading the rally, that is the point where I would start to worry. So here you can see Bitcoin goes sideways, goes a little bit down, and of course Bitcoin dominance also goes a little bit down here. But every single time we have that move towards the upside, the Bitcoin price action moves up and the Bitcoin dominance also moves up. And that is exactly what I want to be seeing here. I want to see Bitcoin leading the rally. So as soon as that doesn't happen, I will let you know here on the channel. And that will also be the point where I would start to pivot and expect the market could see a bigger reversal. Of course, still looking at the $32,000 as the main important resistance to break here for the cup and handle pattern for Bitcoin. And of course, you can clearly see it on the weekly time frame. $32,000 is the level to break. As soon as we do break above it, that is the point where we would start to become extremely bullish on this market. So guys, that was it for me in today's update video. Bitcoin creating a gigantic falling wedge here. Super bullish pattern. We'll be keeping my eyes wide open on it. But anyways, guys, see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.